Hello everyone, this is Bhavna from Sociology Department, JNU, Delhi. So the topic of my discussion today will be hope in the time of crisis. So why it is essential to talk about hope in today's time of crisis is because what I observed from lot of the newspapers, social media platforms and articles, that this essential psychological component of hope, which is very much associated to our emotions, is being lost somewhere. People are talking about data, figures, socio-economic implications, maybe sociological implications also, psychological trauma also, but they are not talking about hope in the time of crisis. That is why I choose that hope should be the featuring element of this video. Now, hope is a kind of a subjective and experiential reality which we all have to grapple with. This subjective experiential reality is dependent on our socio-economic background, dependent on the level of our capacity and capability to tackle with this condition of hope, and also it is related to the kind of the level of awareness and also the consciousness we have of our surroundings or socio-economic conditions which are going in our society. Now, hope is something which is present in our inner self, and it is also constantly influenced by the factors which are present in our society, which are external factors. Hope is something which have normative implications also, psychological implications also, sociological implications also on one or the other individuals or all of the individuals. Hope is something which is a very essential component, comes into the picture when there is a situation of pain, loss, suffering, any emotion which is related to happiness, or any of the positive or negative emotions. Hope come into the picture. The question of survival and the very question of existence is also somehow related to the hope. Hope in the humanity, hope of surviving, hope of living, all these things are very much associated into a society. Now, let me take you to the sociological understanding of society. Society is something which is formulated with the web of social relationships. We as individuals are embedded in this web of social relationships, and we maintain these social relationships with our repeatedly everyday life conversations or social interactions. Now, when pandemic or crisis happen, the effective lockdown has impacted our very quality of being social or being sociable in such manner. However, for those people who have internet, data facility, laptops, mobiles, and can access to virtuality, they do not feel that much of a lack of conversation or lack of social interaction. But definitely there were parts of a society, for them, they were in a hopeless situation when they could not connect to the social level because they lack in the materialistic resources. So that is why I'm telling that hope is a very subjective phenomena, and it changes from person to person and their socio-economic background. Now, history of pandemics and epidemics in our society, if we look into, they have been ushered in our society long back. The first official report of 1664 pandemic has come, and then there are a number of books, articles, magazines which have been published in relation to pandemics and epidemics. And of course, people have endured them and cured them. One of the profession which have been come as a promising figure is healthcare and medicine, which always have come up with certain measures to take over such kind of pandemics and to save us from such kind of pandemics. Now, this time the situation is slightly different because COVID-19, which all across the globe people are suffering with, it has had thousands of mutations. Nobody knows the actual form and character or trait of this kind of a virus, and scientists are grappling with the problem of understanding what vaccine or what kind of medication should be possible in such kind of a situation. Also, on the other hand, what I feel is political leaders and government is also refraining themselves from accepting the very mode of this kind of a virus and how it is impacting us day by day. The singular sin which they refrain to say is, I don't know. Everybody is just saying, I know about this and I can moderate this, we can control this. Nothing is like that to fear of. What is they portraying through their lectures, through their speeches? But my question to them is, or my question to everybody of us is, in challenging this invisible enemy, we somehow forget to challenge ourselves. We also are a part of a society. We also are a part of a community. Why don't we channelize ourselves? Why don't we self regulate ourselves? Corrective and preventive measures are, of course, important in such a situation. But along with corrective and preventive measures, there is something add on to that, which is our communitarian participation in such kind of a situation. Where are our warmth and compassion in such kind of a situation? When effective lockdown happened in India, there were two terms which comes with this effective lockdown. They were physical distancing and they were social distancing. Now this in turn enhanced the social stigma and differentiated people on the basis of who is COVID impacted and should be quarantined, the home should be quarantined, entire community should be quarantined, entire neighborhood should be quarantined, versus who are non-COVID normal people. However, these non-COVID normal people could be the asymptomatic COVID people also who do not have any symptoms and they do not go to the doctors to get a checkup of COVID, right? So, of course, now people are blaming COVID for such kind of differentiation. I want to turn the tables for them. COVID is not a culprit here. Any virus or any microbe never comes in the society with an internal capacity of differentiating people on the basis of their caste, class, race, gender, etc. We as a society, however, embedded such kind of graded inequalities in our society in form of natural and social inequalities. Now differentiation is somehow which is we doing as a part of a citizen. It's not the pandemic is doing, it's not the COVID is doing. We need to understand this difference. Along with this, we need to associate our sensitivity with a kind of a hope or with a phenomena of hope. Why hope I'm focusing on? Because now at the fifth coming up phase of a lockdown, when we will be going out in a coming future, there will be a need of lot of sensitivity, a need of lot of patience, tolerance and endurance on our part as a person of a community or as an individual of a society. Of course, whenever you will be going out, you cannot be into the picture of a doubtful person who is just doubting every person sitting next or standing next to you that he or she may be a COVID patient. You cannot just push off any of the individual who is sneezing or coughing just because of a normal cold, flu, or any fungal infection, thinking that he or she might have COVID 19. This kind of insensitivity and this kind of social distancing would hamper a kind of a social solidarity and collective conscience in our society. And in longer run, it will move us to the individualistic picture of society. Let me tell you very clearly, people are not fear of dying. People are fear of dying alone, and people are more fear and anxious of getting alone or lonely or isolated. We should not isolate them. We should understand the situation that anything happen to our neighbor could happen to us also. Also, I want to urge through this video that be humble and be serene. Be vigilant, but be self regulatory. Be self reflexive in your social actions. Be sensitive enough that you can tolerate, understand your fears, your anxieties. They are your challenges. In a society, let me be very clearly tell you that social identities formulate your identity, others' identity, formulate or constructed only when the others recognize you. If you sabotage their identity, they could sabotage yours also in coming future. So whatever we are doing, we should be aware of that the reciprocity could be come from the other side as well. So this need to be curbed on. We need to be very humble and very serene. Of course, the world is not ending from this pandemic. If I quote Hegel here, Hegel have said that human beings have a phenomena or have a habit of forgetting the history of struggle. I wish to add that don't forget this history of struggle where you have been caged in this environment more than 2.5 months, and coming out, don't forget this history of struggle. Our history of struggle may be shorter in front of those history of struggles which are unseeable, which are not being forecasted through social media platforms or through articles. We need to go out, we need to observe, we need to actually have that conscience where we can behave in that solidarity, where a balance and a harmony need to be maintained in our society. That is why hope is a very good and a very important and essential part of our society, which we will be needing in coming future. All in all, last but not the least, let me thank to the Discourse YouTube channel to actually give me this platform to speak about the things which I need to portray in the society. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe the channel. Also, whatever video you wish to actually see or the subjects you need to actually forecast it, do tell us through your comments. Thank you.